hear it for his opponent, the ace in the back, Judd Trump!
The one positive, especially for someone like Judd Trump, he can play with positivity, with freedom for a while as he tries to pull back. Of course, the pendulum of pressure will eventually swing back towards him, but right now he's just trying to enjoy himself, trying to restore some respectability to the scoreline, and maybe, just maybe, get back onto level terms. The boot was on the other foot when they met in the famed UK Championship final of 2011. Trump led 8-3, looked all over the winner. Allen then just went on a spurt, made 4 centuries in that match, came back to only 9-8 down. And Trump had to dig very deep indeed, put together a 91 in frame 18 to cross the line. Prevailing emotion, relief.
This is where it is. They're incredibly dangerous. With the fact that he can knock these in. If he's got no easy safety shot, he's got the ability to just pot his way out of trouble there. Steering the cue ball back to the bulk end. I didn't really know a lot about that. He thought he'd hit a red, I think, screw back from a different red, but he just missed all the reds. There was really nothing to get the cue ball at the other end of the table on. Is he playing here brown off the cushion, perhaps? Interesting shot, this. Gets it right. Mark Allen's in trouble. It's just wriggled past it. Could have been troublesome. Nicely potted. He actually doesn't have an easy shot on the white colour here, because as you can see they're all tied up. The yellow and brown are. I think in his attempts to not go into his bunker and just wait for chances to come, he took that on. He didn't really get very close to it. He hit much too thick. But he is aware that he can't just sit and wait for Judd to make errors. That's not how he got this big lead in the first place.
One.
Judd can whittle away at the deficit by just winning frames in one visit like that previous frame. It makes the tasks more achievable, I think. Not going to grind his way through 4 or 5 frames in a row. He's got to win them in the style he's been playing all week.
7. Eight.
Anyone who's played this game knows that a day makes a big difference. You can be playing very poorly, come back the next day, play like a world beater, and vice versa. And the same applies between sessions. 3 hours almost between first and second session. Maybe Mark Allen's hoping against hope this isn't the case, but maybe Trump has got a second wind.
Well, unless there is a red that goes to the right corner, that'll be the only way I think of keeping this break going. He looked at a red across, top one of the two close together. Well, it definitely passed, but it's very difficult a shot to judge. Cue ball crashing into other balls. Plenty of risk in playing it, but it's definitely on.
I can't blame Trump for being attacking. That's the only way back, as far as I can see. But of course, when you attack, you have to bear the consequences if you miss.
One.
Yes, for him to get onto the black, he wants to pot the red that's just to the right of the black spot before he takes that ball and ties it up. So if he could land on that red sooner rather than later, then really he could be in business here. It's a good chance. It's a question of the early shots to make all these things happen. It's the chance he'd been waiting for this evening.
7.
It's taking them a frame and a bit for this to come along.
Eight.
Allen's been scoring very dependably in this tournament. He's made at least one century in all 4 matches he's played, including a 137 total clearance this afternoon in frame 6. It's a prerequisite of success in modern snooker, heavy scoring, certainly at this level.
On his previous red, he just nudged that red on the black spot away from there.
23. Thirty. 31. 38. 39.
Yeah, good shot that, because with the blue away from his spot, it's easy to just sort of play up for the conventional place that the blue is and not be on it, but it looks perfect. Yeah, well, he's just shy of where he really wants to be. Choice of both reds. He should be okay, but cue ball could have run a little further down, stretching a bit on this one. But nowhere near enough to stop him. Now with the wrong side of the blue, with the red into vault pocket, comes into play. He's got the right blend, doesn't he? He's a very tight player these days. He doesn't leave big chances, but you feel that he's waiting for something, and this was the opportunity he really wanted before Judd made any inroads tonight.
51.
He's happy to share the frames with this man from here on in.
Yes, and he's renowned on the circuit as having a steely temperament, doesn't buckle
56.
on the big occasion. Like everyone else, he has his off days, of course, but when it comes to nerve and bottle, he's as good as anyone.
57.
Well, he made very sure of the red, but in doing so, he's not finished on the colour very well. You could do with this going in, this blue, because just where the yellow and brown are, for getting snookers, you know, there's a glimmer. The Judd trump, but not if this goes in. I mean, he's compelled to play on here.
57.
2 snookers needed, but he got 2 snookers and won the frame against Sean Murphy in the quarterfinals. Late on. Now Allen moved on that one. That's why he caught it wholly incorrectly.
I don't think Mark Allen will mind that Judd potted the red there. Always more awkward with a red on the table and a free ball and all the things that can go with it. If you do make a foul. Yes, he's probably going to get a snooker here. But he'll be splitting up those two balls in the process.
8.
They're close together and they're good to get snookers behind. Not more than one though now, obviously. Yeah, not really what he was looking for, to be honest. The target is bigger now. You can hit it directly, or you can just hit the cushion first and still catch the yellow. I don't think Judd really gained much by potting that red, personally.
Allen, though, will not be feeling entirely comfortable.
Well, obviously priority, if you don't hit the green, is not to hit the black instead, because then it would be possible for Judd to tie the frame. And also, don't leave a free ball if you do slide past this green ball. Play it gently. If he's done that.
Wow.
Well, it's not as bad as it looks. I think if he had to hit something other than the green, he'd have chosen the pink instead of the black. 26 in it, 25 on. Getting interesting though, isn't it? Laid two good snookers. Is there any way that he could go around the back of this green? Maybe from the right side. But it's not such a wide angle from this side to slip round the back of it.
It's been one of those tournaments now, hasn't it? We talked about Trump getting the two snookers against Murphy. In the quarterfinals, Barry Hawkins in the first frame got two snookers to win a frame against Robert Milkins, the first frame, and it set the pattern for the entire match. This would be a massive blow for Mark Allen if he were to lose this. Another chance to quell the nerves, to put it to bed. We've reverted to a couple of snookers required again.
Mark Allen. And the frame.
Trump remained in his seat. He nods in concession. And that means Mark Allen restores his 5-frame buffer zone.
Mark Allen to play.
Can Mark Allen move within a frame of a £150,000 jackpot? And joining Ronnie O'Sullivan and Neil Robertson as a multiple winner of the Champion of Champions.
beautifully struck, that one. It really was, with the top spin to take him up the table. But the accuracy he still got with the speed and, like I say, hitting top of the cue ball. There's too many good players at the top end of the tour for one player to dominate for long. That's why what Judd Trump has done by winning 3 ranking events in a few weeks is such a notable achievement. But people like Mark Allen, he's going to hit a peak at some point and he's going to do damage, and I think this is the week where that's all began. Defends his UK Championship in York coming up the week after next. So he's got everything to play for right now. I know how much he thinks of this event, the Champion of Champions, which he won in 2020, behind closed doors and all that.
12.
Just something very strange there, you know. He won the Champion of Champions and then changed his cue almost the next day. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. Why fix something that isn't broken? Almost immediately got a different cue. I think he just said with Brendan there, just kill air out where the pink ball was meant to go. I think Mark was inquiring if it possibly went any closer to his spot.
Has to get them open. Tried to dislodge those 2 reds a little more away from the black than he actually did.
That's right. He certainly wanted to just take the red further away. It still might be okay. I mean, that red probably still goes. The other red might go to the opposite corner. But he's interested to see if the pink will go now, putting him behind his own spot. Yeah, the pink just put in line behind its own spot there. I think it will go, if it was indeed in line. Might be looking offline because the black perhaps was away from his own spot. Either way, none of that really matters because he's got everything open now. Here it is. This is a way. Finish low on that pink. Bring all the reds out.
32.
The pink where it was the perfect vehicle to split open the reds.
Well, he's worried about the lack of pace. He knew straight away he hadn't hit it hard enough. And he knows how disappointing that is because everything was there for him. Just didn't hit the shot. This is his second prize in behind the green. Didn't want Judd coming back to the table at all, obviously. So, it's kind of a lifeline for Judd, although no one really wants to ever be in a snooker like this. It's just marginally better than anything else. At least he's back at the table. Trouble is, there aren't many reds he can just lay up to. They're all out in open play. Yeah, you see, that was the problem. It was really awkward there. So he got a second bite at the cherry, Mark Allen. He'll be grateful for that.
One.
And now from here, you would confidently expect him to go on and win the frame. The key, though, not whether we confidently expect it, whether he does. And I get the sense
6.
he's playing with great authority and he's full of self-belief.
7.
Yeah, he's a different player at the moment, isn't he? He had that spell where he slowed everything up and almost didn't help himself, that world semi-final, because it was a great achievement to get that far. But no, with Mark Selby, that was a gruelling match which went on into the morning, basically, of the final itself. She lost. But now he's got the balance. He wanted to change his game a little bit, but he didn't want to take away the strength that he's got, and that's what a big scorer he is. Somewhere in between, this is the Mark Allen in front of us that we're going to see, I think. And if he gets his frame to go 9-3 up against Judd Trump the way he's been playing it, who could argue? Trump has not seen many finals like this recently.
Yes, Mark Allen said earlier this week that he was looking for the perfect balance, and I think he's found it. Moderation in all things. Not too attacking, but certainly not too defensive either.
90.
In this match, he's played at 24 seconds a shot, which is a very agreeable rhythm.
Twenty-four. $25.
The crowd have done their arithmetic. That was
50.
frame ball. Snooker required. One more red needed for complete safety.
31.
Yeah, 2 scoring visits to the table, so not a huge break or anything, but
36.
a shot in between with the snooker, which he put Judd in, so he didn't really give him anything. In
37.
a pretty watertight frame for Mark Allen to take him within 1.
Mark Allen's work is almost done. He's one frame away from an 18th professional title. Needs something truly miraculous.
For once, quite wayward there. Missed that red by hitting too much of it. I wonder if Judd Trump really has given up any real hope of winning now. It's a long way back, isn't it? Although we did see 9-4 in the Tour Championship overturned when John Higgins was beaten 10-9 by Neil Robertson in the end. But it's very unusual. It's a big lead.
Yeah, Robertson also came back from 8-4 down, the brink of defeat, to beat Cao Yupeng 9-8 in a Scottish Open final. But those kind of outcomes are few and far between. And as we said before, Mark Allen is a rock, a really good front runner. Doesn't buckle, doesn't collapse.
Yes, I mean, that Masters final. But, Steve Davis, first to 9, came from 8-2 down to beat Mike Hallett 9-8, is the same sort of, in the case of numbers. Sure, that was very satisfying for him.
Yeah, Hendry was 7-0 down in that match. But despite the one-sided nature of the scoreline, there will be no complacency whatsoever from Mark Allen. He wants to get over the line as swiftly as he possibly can, especially given the quality of the opposition, because you just never know. Allen has beaten Trump heavily before. A couple of 6-1 victories. But if he could finish it at 10-3, that would be immensely satisfying.
Well, he thought he saw a plant. But the angle he was coming into the first red from was not right behind it, which it always makes those shots more difficult. Well, what a chance this is to get this match done. And as you said earlier, you know, if you could get a win of this magnitude in a big fun like this, it would kind of set out a warning to the other players that he absolutely is back to the kind of form which we saw him in the first half of last season. Went quiet after that, but because you can't do it all the time, that's basically the reason for it.
Six. Seven.
Mark Allen is the only non-world champion to win the Champion of Champions over the years. Now he's on the threshold of lifting the silverware twice.
Thirty.
Congestion being eased.
Now, does the black go anywhere near its own spot? The green is a possibility, of course. Green spot, that's the only other place it can go, and it's the pink is somehow in play. No, it goes on its own,
21.
and it's tied up as a consequence. But he can make do with the pink in play. And this is the sort of areas where he's usually very good, just short little shots at close range, where he isn't necessarily using the cushions, just playing in the middle of the table. It makes it look easy, but you've got to have a beautiful touch
28.
to do what Mark Allen does when he's in, to get those balls so close together, and it eliminates a lot of the things that can go wrong. Again, that's absolutely A1. So much about this game is the cue ball and the control of it.
$34. $35.
Wanted to screw back slightly more than he did there.
Yeah, for sure he did. He might have to go up the table here, straight or just further to the left. He's got the simplest shot to roll the pink in and be on the reds below into the left corner. He hasn't got it now. He's got to go up to the red in bulk. Things can just get further out of control in these breaks. You've got a chance to recover it straight away. But given he shouldn't be there, all of a sudden shots like this can now be missed. But he recovers nicely.
You know, the old saying, Neil, the last frame is the hardest to win. I think with Mark Allen, it isn't. He's shown on multiple occasions, he's made of granite. He's got what all snooker players crave: coolness.
$48.
I don't think Judd is feeling that he's going to come back to the table here. He's seen enough of Mark Allen scoring today, and he probably feels that this golden run is over. Yes, he didn't win last week in Tianjin. He was beaten by Stephen Maguire, but getting to the final here, it was a continuation of his great form. But on the day, he's definitely been second best by some margin. And he's on the brink. And this would mean a lot, because Mark Allen came in for quite a lot of criticism for how he'd slowed his game down, at times probably to his detriment. But he's got the balance right now, that's for sure.
This is it. In goes the pink. Mark Allen in the pink himself.
69.
It's been a dominant display. How fitting it would be if Allen could possibly finish off
75.
with a century. Oh, what a shame. Never mind. That was a minor consideration. The major job has been done, and a major tournament has been won. Last season, he won 3 big events. But I get the impression, given who he's beaten today, and how handily he's beaten Judd Trump, this might be one of the sweetest victories of all. Mark Allen is the champion. He defeats Judd Trump by 10 frames to 3. Let's go down to Rob Walker on the floor.
And now your winner of £150,000 and now a 2-time champion of champions. It's the Pistol, Mark Allen!